Twitch or YouTube?
Both Twitch and YouTube. Forge is open, guys. Got a lot of stress to get off my chest, like breast reduction. Balls.
Wow. What are you gonna stream?
I'm gonna play a little bit of triangle. It's just triangle strategy and talking with the people. I'm letting people know that they gotta get on Pacocha. They download the app so that wait a minute. Where am I streaming? I just noticed something. Where am I streaming? I know I changed it. I know I changed the link. When you come out the shower, you can put the last one up. eviljagan.com. The new breed. I'm trying to figure out where the hell is my stream. Am I oh, I am live. Hold on, everybody. Just hang tight. I finally found my stream in the back end. It's crazy. I gotta find a faster way to tighten up. Yeah, Talanya and now, you guys just, if y'all don't mind, just holding the channel down for me, just a little bit. Who's in the bathroom? Oh, good, because I have to use the bathroom real quick. So.
I tried to find the phone.
Okay. Talanya, go in the general chat. Go in the general chat room. I'll meet you in there. Talanya. Talanya? Why can't I hear her? What the freak? What happened? Talanya, check your mic. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Now I'll be here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Shit, I can't. What? There was her song on the audio on TikTok, but they say it can't do for songs, for videos longer than 60 seconds. Alright. I'm here.
Come on, Bumbucker. There. Baba. What's happening? I was going to shower, but Skyforce just hopped in the back.
I'm just here doing lift.
Okay.
Are we echo?
I would assume so. You're on speaker.
Okay.
I think every stream I do, I echo for so much, so long, and nobody can do anything about it. Oh well.
There's a way to figure that out. Yo, I'll be like, when I can't figure things out, like software wise, I just add chords. I just add audio chords. Like, I try to do. Well, right now I can't figure out why this chord won't work with live. So I just put like I go into Discord on my phone and I put that shit on speakerphone and I lean it against my microphone. Oh, okay. I was about to say. Hello. White. There it is. Oh yes.
Helena, what's the temperature where you're at?
Like 55.
Damn.
Right now. Not too cold. I don't think it was hot today. I didn't go outside today. Like just now.
55. I have Chicago underneath the saved weather on my phone. The shit is always 1, 2, 3, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, damn. A 70, a 80, nothing. Fuck.
In Celsius.
Yeah.
I
0.
don't know how much your time is in Celsius.
Doesn't it always show in Celsius?
No. In America we do Fahrenheit.
I like Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit seem more legit. Celsius is like I have to calculate. Oh, I could, Ross. Okay, I could put the Fahrenheit. So Chicago would be Fahrenheit, is right? Chicago would be 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. We are 73 degrees where I'm at.
73 Fahrenheit right
Yeah.
now. In this moment, it is 73 degrees at night. That's hot.
Compared to how it is in the day, it's a huge blessing. When people comment, when guys comment, I love you, I'm gonna get my pulse. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? Fine, you married you? Eventually. Guys on Empire Arcadia stream, why have you ever done that to a girl? You don't know her from a lick in the wall. You see her social media and you just comment, I love you. It's a big jump, fam. call music videos, not art music videos.
Hello?
Yeah.
What you doing?
Trying to post these goddamn TikToks. Oh my god. Just got muted. What the fuck is Dana's song? What do you mean? Wow. I just uploaded the TikTok of Dana's song. We did a mini music video for her at one of the retreats that we did. And TikTok literally just removed the sound.
Because she got it's copywritten.
Can she do that?
Yeah, if she put a copyright on the song, that means nobody else can play a song. So there's no song there?
No.
She might have to find a way to put it on TikTok so that TikTok won't remove it.
Just take it down.
Oh boy. Oh well.
She's just protecting a song from anyone taking it. But at the very same time, that's not good because you're people.
Yeah, no, she just probably didn't probably distribute it because if she does it the right way, when people use her song, she could get paid for it.
Oh.
So, I don't.
What? I'll find one more from your phone. There has to be something we can put on your phone simple. But put that one up first and then we'll run it back and I'll try to find something. What's the thing? Alrighty then, where am I? Wow, I never...
That it was telling me to turn around the phone. Oh, I was like, sorry about that. It was telling me to turn around
you come back out from when you finish, I'll look up and find if you another video somewhere in your phone. So. Okay, let's get this. Talanya,
Huh?
I'm gonna go on YouTube for a second, okay? So I'm gonna have to leave the call.
Alright.
Located in the city of San Francisco, California. And if you listen very carefully, no matter where you are in the country, you can hear the faint but distinctive sound of a collective groan coming out of this building. Now, of course, I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm not joking, because due to the work of the undercover journalists over at Project Veritas, we now have in hand the leaked audio recording from an all-hands Twitter meeting, which was held 2 days ago, right after the announcement was made that Elon Musk was taking over the company. And this leaked audio was actually quite revealing, because it shows how the high-ranking executives of the company, including Mr. Parag Agrawal, the CEO of Twitter, are both trying to get a handle on Elon Musk's purchase of the platform, as well as to help the employees at the company cope with all of the coming changes. Specifically, the changes that are coming down the pipe in regards to free speech. And so, let's go through the leaked audio together, starting with a segment on free speech. And for your reference, the way that this meeting actually worked is that Ms. Leslie Berland, who is the chief marketing officer of Twitter, she was reading out loud the questions that different Twitter staff members submitted to the CEO. And also, by the way, I'm going to speed up the audio just a little bit so that way we can get through it faster. So, take a listen.
Is there an updated understanding of what free speech means that we're aware of?
I think we all understand what free speech means. I don't think it's about an updated understanding of that. It's been a concept that's existed for a while. But I think I'm going to try to read the question behind the question here, which is, where might Twitter's product go as a private company in the future once this deal closes? And I think that's a great question. To best gain perspective on this, as I said earlier, we'll find ways to bring Elon for a Q&A with all of you and have a two-way dialogue where we inform and educate him on the work we have done and the things we have learned along the way, and understand what his ambitions and aspirations might be, to see how we can best collaborate.
Now, just to pause there for a quick moment. I believe his answer danced around the subject quite a bit without getting to the heart of the matter, which is that the vision which Elon Musk has publicly expressed for the company appears to be in direct contradiction to the vision that the current CEO, Mr. Parag Agrawal, has expressed. For instance, just yesterday, Elon Musk posted a statement on Twitter which gave us a picture of what he means when he uses the term free speech. Here's what he wrote. By free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I am against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, they will ask government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people. Now, compare that statement from Elon Musk to this statement which was made by Mr. Agrawal in a media interview that he gave in the year 2020. Quote, our role is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation, and our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation. The kind of things that we do about this is focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed. And so it appears just on the very face of it that these two viewpoints represent two completely different approaches to running the platform, approaches that likely cannot coexist. Furthermore, another question raised during that Twitter meeting asked specifically about the company's moderation policy.
Let me make it clear in public that a large part of the reason he bought the platform was because of our moderation policies and disagreements and how we deal with them. Something that we place our value very highly in companies. This puts Twitter service and trust and safety, as well as anybody who cares about health on the platform, in a very difficult position. Can you speak your thoughts on this and how those teams will be supported?
Great question. I believe Twitter's growth as a service allows for more people to use the product and have a better experience because we're able to make the conversation on Twitter be safe. Because we are able to eliminate manipulation. Because we are able to remove spammers. Because we have built tools, processes for people to be able to feel safe and control their experiences. Twitter service, the tone of our policies, and the capabilities we built around content moderation are fundamental to keeping Twitter safe and growing. I believe that there is a lot of work we have to do to continue making that better. Sometimes that means more thoughtful moderation.
So again, that answer seems to dance around the subject quite a bit and was not very definitive. However, within the question, there exists an assumption. The assumption that the people doing the moderating have a monopoly in truth. That the moderators know better than the people that they are moderating. And over the last 2 years, we've seen this play out on a grand scale within the context of health on the platform of Twitter. Just as a simple example, about 4 months ago, the American Heart Association published a certain study abstract over on their website. In that study, it expressed concerns regarding an elevated risk of heart disease resulting from the mRNA vaccine. And so, as usual, people posted the link to that study on their Twitter accounts so that their friends and family could go on over to the American Heart Association's website and read finding was that not many people clicked on the link to that particular study. Why? Because Twitter slapped an unsafe label on that post. Let me just repeat that. Twitter slapped an unsafe label on a post to the official American Heart Association website. Meaning that when you clicked on the link, you were shown this page here, which said this, quote, warning, this link may be unsafe. The link you are trying to access has been identified by Twitter or our partners as being potentially spammy or unsafe, in accordance with Twitter's URL policies. This link could fall into any of the below categories. However, again, this link was going directly to the American Heart Association's website. So you might ask, why was it being marked as being unsafe? Well, you see, while not being definitive, the study did express concerns about the elevated risk of heart disease following an injection, which, as you imagine, would lead to vaccine hesitancy. The system that Twitter has in place, it doesn't allow for that. Because alongside things like spam and malware, well, Twitter recently updated their warning system to include, quote, violent and misleading content that could lead to real-world harm. And certain categories of content that, if posted directly on Twitter, are a violation of the Twitter rules. Which apparently is the category that this particular study, again, a study on the American Heart Association's own website, fell into. And so you see, the assumption behind these content moderation policies is almost always that the moderators have some kind of a monopoly on the good facts and the good truth. Therefore, they can restrict your access to the bad facts and the bad truth. However, with this change in leadership, things might actually change in Twitter. People might be able to, once again, look at the data for themselves, look at the studies for themselves, debate the substance of the issues, and then decide what they believe, instead of having just the authorities tell them what's true or not. And part of that means having diverse voices on the platform, which actually ties neatly into another question that was raised during that all-hands meeting, which was in regards to Twitter's DEI goals, which for your reference, DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Question for you, probably a few questions on this. I would love to know how this change will impact our overall DEI goals.
Twitter is at its best when all diverse voices in the world feel safe and feel encouraged to engage in the public conversation. That belief is what drives us to have a diverse workforce internally on all dimensions. To have multiple perspectives and points of views represented internally so that we can empathize with all of our customers all around the world and serve them in the best possible way. That's a core belief of mine.
This is
That doesn't change.
Just to pause here for a quick moment. It's really ironic.
Oh,
here,
crap, sorry,
not just
guys.
Twitter, but in most companies with DEI goals, is that generally they are only looking at the surface of people. They want different.
Hey Danny, what's going on? That boy, what's going on? Damn, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now we can go crazy without being timed out. Hopefully he buys Twitch and YouTube. The audio is mad fast. The audio is purposely sped up. Yeah, I can barely hear anything. Why are people so mad about Elon Musk buying Twitter? Because it grants the average person the freedom to express themselves without being censored, and the elites do not want that. Maybe he did it to avoid being timed out. Anyway, yeah, safe space. Imagine though, that's the reason. Yeah. Let us continue.
Genders, different ethnicities, and different races represented at their company, which is absolutely all well and good. However, the reality appears to be that at Twitter you have diversity of everything except political opinion. In fact, according to an analysis of political donations made by Twitter employees during the last midterm elections, well, 98.7% of the money went to Democrats. Think about that, 98.7%. Meaning that when they talk about having a diverse workforce, well, in practice it means that they have female Democrats, they have black Democrats, they have Indian Democrats, they have gay Democrats, they have Asian Democrats, and so on and so forth. The discussion of DEI almost never incorporates ideological diversity. And now, before we move on to the next Twitter question, I have a question for you. Heads or tails?
You're right. It's a gold coin from American Hartford Gold, my personal gold and silver bullion dealer. Listen, you already know that inflation right now is at a 40-year high. Interest rates are skyrocketing, and unfortunately, it looks like we are heading straight for a recession. And so, stuck between this record inflation and a looming recession, well, our retirement accounts are in jeopardy. Now, I don't give you any financial advice, but I will tell you that I buy gold and silver, physical gold and silver from American Hartford Gold every single month. And I would recommend that you give them a call.
Will be allowed on the platform. Specifically around whether a former Republican president will be allowed on the platform.
There are a couple of questions about Trump coming back on the platform. Will Trump, is it being Trump?
I think we've been doing our work to learn constantly go over policies, make decisions for the health of the conversation every day. We've been doing this work, keep doing this work. Once the deal closes, we don't know which direction the platform will go in. I believe when we have an opportunity to speak in an AMA, it's a question we should address to him. I will of course be spending time with him to understand where he sees the future of Twitter. As I said earlier, I am to inform him about the approaches we have taken, principles that have guided us, the lessons we learned along the way, so that we enable through collaboration the thriving Twitter.
Whether or not Elon Musk decides to allow President Trump back on is still unclear. However, just yesterday, President Trump released a statement saying that even if his account is reactivated on Twitter, he will not go back, likely because of the fact that he has spent so much time and effort building up social media platform. And in fact, shortly after President Trump made the announcement that he will not be returning to Twitter, the stock price of his platform rose by 25%. By the way, just as a short aside, if you have an account,
Trump is a genius.
Another question that was raised during that town hall had to do with government regulation.
Is there anything to the consent decree? If so, what would it be?
Great question. I thought about it.
There should be no impact about is a agreement that we're entering into with the government agreement, and we expect that no matter what form it takes in the future, we will still be subject to that decree.
Now to pause here for a quick moment, while the FTC themselves has not made any announcements regarding this deal, other members of the U.S. government have. For instance, shortly after the announcement, Twitter's purchase by Elon Musk was announced, the White House press secretary came out and she said that the Biden administration would support reforming Section 230 as well as enacting antitrust reform. Take a listen to this.
In general, the information ownership. What the White House did working with Twitter like it has to continue combat this kind of information or create
Well, I think we engage regularly with all social media platforms about steps that can be taken. That is continued, and I'm sure will continue. But there are also reforms that we think Congress can take, and we would support taking, including reforming Section 230, enacting antitrust reforms, requiring more transparency, and the President is encouraged by bipartisan support for engagement in those.
And then last, one of the Twitter employees asked the executives if Twitter were to go private, who exactly would Elon Musk be accountable for? Take a listen.
Question, Brad. You know who employees Elon accountable and how?
So the companies are operated differently than other companies, but companies are also subject to the same regulations we are as a public company in each of the jurisdictions that we operate. There's somewhat nuanced questions, just like Delaware or Delaware that have against dictates our governance.
Now the question that was raised by that particular employee, it appears to be in the exact same vein as that of the regulators in the European Union. That's because in an interview in the Financial Times, the EU Commissioner, Mr. Thierry Breton, he said that Elon Musk must follow the rules on moderating illegal and harmful content online. And in terms of which specific rules he's referring to, well, less than a week, the European Union signed into law a piece of legislation that targets social media companies who don't moderate their content. The penalty for that law is pretty steep. Here's specifically what Mr. Breton said at this point. Quote, we welcome everyone. We are open, but on our conditions. At least we know what to tell. Elon, there are rules. You are welcome, but these are our rules. It's not your rules which we will apply here. Anyone who wants to benefit from this market will have to fulfill our rules. The board of Twitter will have to make sure that if it operates in Europe, it will have to fulfill the obligations, including moderation, open algorithms, freedom of speech, transparency in rules, obligations to comply with our own rules for hate speech, revenge porn, and harassment. If Twitter does not comply with our law, there are sanctions, 6% of the revenue, and if they continue, banned from operating in Europe. And as an apparent response, just a few hours after that statement was released from the European Commissioner, Elon Musk released his statement, the one that we actually read earlier, clarifying exactly what he means by free speech. I'll read the relevant part of that statement again. Quote, by free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I'm against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, we will ask government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people. However, if that somehow doesn't work out, Elon Musk can take the advice of this foreign policy analyst who said this, quote, looks like Elon Musk is going to have to buy the EU. If you'd like to listen to the full leaked audio in its entirety, well, I'll throw a link to it down in the description box of this video for you to check out. By the way, that's in the description box right below that like button that I hope you take a moment to smash, as well as that subscribe button, which I hope if you haven't already, smash as well, that we can get honest news content directly into your YouTube feed every single weekday. Lastly, as I mentioned yesterday, I published a phenomenal episode over on Epic TV detailing a letter that we received here at the Epic Times on January 6th further. He wrote it behind bars, and after 3 months of somehow going through different channels, it wound up in the hands of his lawyer, who passed it on to us here at the Epic Times. Here's a trailer for that episode. Right now, a man by the name of Jeremy Brown, who has served this country for the past 20 years as a decorated military veteran, as a U.S. Army Green Beret, well, he has for the past 7 months now been locked up in jail as a January 6th prisoner. His alleged crime? One misdemeanor count of allegedly trespassing on U.S. Capitol grounds. However, thanks to a serendipitous chain of events, we here at the Epic Times obtained a letter written by Jeremy's own hand from behind bars. I want to read this letter together with you, because this is a first-hand account that I believe all Americans should have access to, something that should be kept for the history books. A first-hand account of a January 6th prisoner that might very well light the bright fires of liberty in the souls of men. The reception for that particular episode has been phenomenal. A lot of people are leaving comments in the section for the comments on Epic TV saying, hey, I reached out to this person's congressman. I want him to be released right now because sitting for 7 months in a high-security jail just for a misdemeanor trespassing charge does not seem to be right. If you want to check out that episode, I'll throw a link to it right there at the very top of the description box. I hope you check it out because this one is, in my opinion, something that everyone in America should watch because it's the real historical account of a January 6th prisoner who has been locked up for the past 7 months. Again, that link will be right there at the very description. And then, until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epic Times. Stay informed, stay free. This is your daily facts matter update. I'm your host, Roman, Epic Times. And now let's begin today's discussion over in Canada, where the Prime Minister has just doubled down in opposition to the Freedom Convoy. That's because just yesterday, Mr. Justin Trudeau, who's of course the Canadian Prime Minister, he invoked what's known as the Emergencies Act in order to deal with the trucker protests. Now, in case you've never heard of it, if you're not a Canadian, that's very likely, the Emergencies Act was passed back in 1988, and it is the successor to the previous War Measures Act. Essentially, it gives the federal government extraordinary powers to deal with things like the trucker convoy. It's very similar to the government declaring martial law. And this Emergencies Act has actually never been invoked in Canada before. This is quite literally the first time. However, its predecessor, the War Measures Act, it has been invoked 3 times in Canadian history. Once during the First World War, another time during the Second World War, and then a third time during the 1970s Quebec separatist movement. And now, 50 years later, we are seeing Canada use this playbook again. Here's specifically what Justin Trudeau said yesterday when he announced the invocation of the Emergencies Act.
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act to supplement provincial and territorial capacity to address the blockades and occupations. I want to be very clear. The scope of these measures will be time-limited, geographically targeted, as well as reasonable and proportional to the threats they are meant to address.
What does this actually mean in practice? What powers does the federal government now have? And to start with, the federal government can now do almost anything, including sending in the military to deal with the truckers. Although yesterday, when he was making the announcement, Justin Trudeau specifically said that he was not going to call in the troops just yet, although frankly he did not rule it out in the near future. Here's specifically what he said on this front. We will not and cannot allow these illegal and dangerous activities to continue. However, we are not using the Emergencies Act to call in the military. And so, what will his government actually be doing now that they have all this power? Well, it appears that to start with, their actions will be twofold. First of all, Justin Trudeau said that the local police will be given more tools as well as more resources to impose fines as well as to imprison protesters who are blocking roads or blocking infrastructure. And then second, the government laid out a plan to attack the protesters financially. Specifically, banks now regulate and restrict funding that supports the blockade. Drivers who are using their truck.
Yeah, I'm still streaming, but I'm about to come. Yeah, I want them to hear the news. I'm gonna go to Tucker Carlson real quick. Tucker Carlson. He's funny. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to look for. So let me see. Huh? Oh, I was trying to get something from your phone. I thought you was doing something. Okay. Let's see. It has to be something directly from your phone, though. Unfortunately, it won't be something that's off TikTok or something like that. Or that's the way to do stuff. Still have to do that video. What is this? Already done that. Wow, I gotta work on that. I actually need to work on that. I legitimately have to work on that. Sorry, let me get the chat up. Hey, what's up, Keeson? What's going on? I'm over here trying to just get past this part of triangle strategy, but unfortunately I can't. I actually have to go and level up. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. What's the foolishness? Cut the nut. Stop the foolishness. What is it? What is going on? You guys don't understand that the stupidity I'm surrounded by. I'm surrounded by nothing but foolishness. What is this? What? Oh, I didn't know that That was a 45-second video or whatever. Alright. We did that, this, that. Did this ever? Oh, this did go up on TikTok. That went up on TikTok? Oh yeah, okay. Alright. What is this? Yeah, that already went up on TikTok. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Now we're going way back. Oh boy. What is this? What can this be? Can
So when is coming and we are on our way to the farm, we almost reached to us. We are wanting to save me, please. I don't understand. Save me, please. That's a one right now.
Put that up. Put up save Neko and tag her. I gotta do 3 more reps. I gotta get everyone to level 30 before it even makes sense. This game's getting real annoying.
Here we are at Independence Square.
Put up what I just gave you. Do that. What I just gave you, do that first, and then I can do that. What is this nonsense? Where is Tucker Carlson? Do I have to go through all these channels?
Here's a list of who deleted.
Oh, hell no. That was mad loud. Alright, there we go. Fox News.
Politically wounded Joe Biden is turning to the squad for help. President's disapproval is rising and his popularity being lowered by double digits in 30 weeks.
Yeah. I don't care about all these Sean Hannity and the rest of these guys. There's no Tucker Carlson. Not tonight. Looks like Tucker Carlson's off, guys.
Air Force General, you read your good stories where you can find that the prisoner swap might be a step in that direction, but obviously the spreading attack line that we're getting from Russia gives another different picture. How do you see things where we are right now?
Well, good afternoon, Neil. Certainly it's good news for the Reed family in Fort Worth, Texas, and I think that's good news for them. It's good news for the Americans. But nonetheless, the war still grinds on. The Russians are trying to create some momentum in the Donbass region. That has not yet come to fruition, but nonetheless, and this part of their historical playbook is just to continue to grind on. You can see that before World War II, and certainly fighting the Nazis in World War II and so forth. But he's also trying to create. He being Putin and his commanders in the field are trying to create effects outside of just Donbass and create that momentum, not necessarily a breakout strategy, but to let the Ukrainian military know that there's really no target that they can, they'll cover. And so that's part of the effort here, I'm sure.
I want to get your take, General, because almost every day we hear a nuclear threat coming out of Russia. The latest one, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov had warned that there is, quote, a serious risk of a nuclear war over Ukraine. Now, the U.S. quickly responded by saying this is yet another height of irresponsibility statement, but they keep making them. And they keep saying that in the context of Sweden and Finland wanting to join NATO and actually starting the paperwork to do just that by threatening to have nuclear weapons literally at their borders. What do you make of all that?
Well, Neil, I make of it, you and I have talked several years or so ago. Putin only understands power. And with power, underscores his power for the fact that he has a very capable nuclear arsenal as well as a chemical weapons arsenal as well. But his playbook and the Russian playbook for many years has been to escalate then to de-escalate. Part of that concept is just like Lavrov kept on the table yesterday while Secretary Austin was meeting with 43 nations in Ramstein Air Base, Germany about equipping and resupplying and arming Ukraine. This idea, this notion that, hey, we still have nuclear weapons and we're still willing to use them should you get out of line. It's almost as if their rhetoric is continuing to deter the U.S. and NATO and others in terms of what you just underscored. But it is real. They have a real threat. We have to pay very close attention to that. And we can't let things that are happening on the battlefield necessarily cloud our judgment in everybody. However, on the other side of that, we've got to continue to resupply Ukraine. Give them the maximum amount of weapons and capabilities we possibly can, and make sure that they not only are successful, Neil, but we need to make sure that they win in this contest.
Got it. General, great catching up with you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Neil.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page.
Why is vitamin D so important to your body? Maybe even it helps with your bone health, your immune system, even calcium getting involved. And yes, we'll definitely talk about the sun and your skin getting involved in the story about vitamin D. But did you know that your liver and kidneys play a huge role with vitamin D synthesis? So we'll take a look at those organs, as well as answer some questions like, why are many people deficient with this vitamin? How do you get adequate amounts inside of your body? It'll be a fun one, so let's do this. You're inside more, you don't get too much sun exposure. There are many situations with people where cutaneous synthesis or synthesis of vitamin D in the skin ceases in the winter. And so in that case, you have to get it through the diet or supplementation. Now, another thing that I think is really interesting is if the skin pigment is darker, or I should say the darker the skin pigment, the longer it takes or the more sun exposure is needed to have that conversion process take place. And so we're also seeing risk factors in people who are elderly, if they're staying inside more. You also don't convert things as efficiently when you're getting older in life. I know it's a shame. But one of the things to think about is, how do I know if I'm deficient? Because you don't
William Han, Triforce is still around. Always good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm watching for something to play in the background while I try to do some level up and grind here. What? Okay. All right, let's take a look at democracy now, since that's the only thing that's true.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Russia's cut off natural gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria as tension over the war in Ukraine continues to escalate. The Russian company Gazprom said it suspended gas delivery because both countries refused to begin paying in rubles. The president of the European Commission accused Russia of using gas as a, quote, instrument of blackmail. Both Poland and Bulgaria rely heavily on Russian gas. Meanwhile, a series of explosions occurred inside Russia this morning in 3 provinces bordering Ukraine. At least one of the blasts occurred in an ammunition depot. This comes as Germany's announced it'll begin sending dozens of armored anti-aircraft vehicles to Ukraine in a marked policy shift. On Tuesday, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with military leaders from 40 nations at the U.S. Air Base in Ramstein, Germany. Austin vowed allied nations would do more to help arm Ukraine.
But we don't have any time to waste. The briefings today laid out clearly why the coming weeks will be so crucial for Ukraine. So we've got to move at the speed of war. And I know that all the leaders leave today more resolved than ever to support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression and atrocities.
More details are emerging about how the United States is providing real-time intelligence, even specific coordinates, to Ukraine to help them attack Russian forces. NBC News is reporting Ukraine shot down a Russian transport plane carrying hundreds of troops in the early days of the war, based on information provided by the United States. The U.S. intelligence has also helped Ukraine move its air defenses to avoid Russian strikes. In addition, NBC is reporting the CIA is, quote, devoting significant resources by gathering intelligence to help protect Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. On Tuesday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said the West's arming of Ukraine is jeopardizing negotiations to end the fighting. He accused NATO of waging a proxy war in Ukraine, saying it could lead to World War III.
Of course, these weapons will be a legitimate target for Russia's military, acting within the context of the special operation, and the storage facilities, including those in western Ukraine, have been targeted more than once by Russian forces. How can it be otherwise? If NATO essentially engages in war with Russia through a proxy and is arming that proxy, war means war.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also warned about the risk of a nuclear war.
Really, the risks are really considerable.
That's good.
Artificially. Many would like that. The danger is serious, real, and we must not underestimate it.
The U.S. denounced Lavrov's comments about nuclear war as the height of irresponsibility. On Tuesday, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres met with Lavrov and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. During their meeting, Putin agreed in principle to allow the UN and the International Committee of the Red Cross to help evacuate civilians from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. Guterres is meeting with Zelensky in Kiev Thursday. Will speak to Professor Alfred McCoy about the war in Ukraine. His latest piece is How to End the War in Ukraine, a Solution Beyond Sanctions. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency visited the Chernobyl nuclear power station in Ukraine Monday on the 36th anniversary of the plant's meltdown. Rafael Grossi vowed help for Ukraine to repair damage caused when Russian forces seized the facility in February. He praised workers at the plant for helping to prevent what could have been another nuclear disaster.
In this case, what we had was a nuclear safety situation that was not normal, that could have developed into an accident. I think the first credit must go to the operators, to these people here, because they carried on their work in spite of all the difficulties, in spite of the stress, in spite of the fact that they could not be working normally. They continued working as if nothing had happened, so they kept the situation stable, so to speak.
Russia and the United States have participated in a prisoner swap. Russia has released Marine veteran Trevor Reed in exchange for a Russian pilot who was jailed in Connecticut on drug charges. Reed had been jailed in Russia since 2019. Russia is continuing to hold WNBA player Brittany Griner, who was arrested in February after authorities say they found vape cartridges containing cannabis oil in her luggage at an airport near Moscow. Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19. According to her office, she's not showing any symptoms due to a recent travel schedule. She has not been in recent close contact with President Biden. This comes as new research from the CDC suggests more than 60% of adults and 75% of children in the United States have been infected with COVID at some point during the pandemic. That's a far higher total than the official number of confirmed cases. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization is warning cuts to COVID testing are making it harder for public health officials to track the pandemic. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus spoke Tuesday in Geneva.
As many countries reduce testing, WHO is receiving less and less information about transmission and sequencing. This makes us increasingly blind to patterns of transmission and evolution. But this virus won't go away just because countries stop looking for it. It's still spreading, it's still changing, and it's still killing.
The New York Times has published new audio of House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy privately saying members of his own party were putting people in jeopardy by using dangerous rhetoric following the deadly January 6th insurrection. This recording is from January 10th, 2021.
Something's going on about news marks on that date, February, calling people names out, saying an anti-Trump in this type of atmosphere. In some of the other places, this is serious stuff people are doing that have to stop. In Louis' comments, too, a lot of members have said some real concerning things. It's potentially illegal. What are you doing? He's putting people in jeopardy. He doesn't need to be doing this. We saw what people were doing in the Capitol. At least they came prepared.
That was Kevin McCarthy, as well as Republican Congressmember Steve Scalise, on a call with other Republican lawmakers January 10th, 2021. McCarthy would later defend the same lawmakers he privately criticized. Tensions continuing to escalate over the Solomon Islands after the Pacific Island nations signed a security deal with China. On Tuesday, a high-ranking U.S. diplomat refused to rule out the U.S. taking military action against the Solomon Islands if China established a military presence on the islands. During a news briefing, the State Department official, Daniel Crittenbrink, said the U.S. respects the Solomon Islands' sovereignty but warned against China's presence in the region, saying the United States would, quote, very naturally respond to those concerns, unquote. By some counts, the U.S. operates over 800 military bases around the world. China opened its first overseas base just 4 years ago in the African nation of Djibouti. In Burma, Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to another 5 years in prison after a closed military court found her guilty on corruption charges. Suu Kyi was overthrown alongside Burma's civilian leadership in a deadly military coup in February of 2021. At least one migrant is dead, at least 24 others missing after their boat capsized about 135 miles from Spain's Canary Islands. The Spanish Coast Guard has rescued 36 people so far. This comes just days after at least 20 migrants died after a group of boats sank off the coast of Tunisia. Israel has carried out deadly airstrikes in Syria, targeting several locations near Damascus. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights is reporting 9 people have died, including 5 Syrian soldiers. Israeli forces have killed an 18-year-old Palestinian after Israel conducted an armed raid near Jenin in the occupied West Bank. 3 other Palestinians, including a 16-year-old, were shot. On Tuesday, hundreds of Palestinians gathered in Jericho for the funeral of a 20-year-old Palestinian man who was shot in the head by Israeli troops during a raid on a refugee camp. In news from Colombia, the nation's human rights ombudsman has revealed at least 52 Colombian human rights activists and local leaders
This is some like sad news to listen to. Like, it's just the way she delivers the news. This is terrible. Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it. It's better if I just stream in the daytime and get some sleep tonight. Alright guys, just came in here to chill with you guys. Our last stream on Empress Now's channel wasn't all that great. Someone came in and reported their channel for sexual conduct. Oh, Chris. Sad, but this shit happens every day. I can't be ignored. Oh, hold on. Before I go, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Didn't think so. Yeah, but like they came on Empress Now's channel and they asked to see their video game socks, which they showed them, and for showing them their Wario and Naruto socks, their channel got, well, that stream got banned. It's crazy. I don't know why they banned the stream. It's banned it, and they gave the channel a warning. But then they appealed it and they won the appeal later, which goes to show that it was a false reporting. Someone just came on our channel to attack her channel, and this is the shit I'm talking about. You know, clearly there are people out there who are enemies to the Valkyries, and there's no good reason to be enemies to the Valkyries. They just are, and I think that's unfortunate. I think it's really unfortunate that they would just attack the channel just for the sake of attacking the channel. No real reason. It's really disgusting. But it's one of the things that we just got to fight through. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where we are right now, trying to fight through it. So we'll see what we can do. Tomorrow, I'll be up around noon. I'll be streaming in the midday. Continue the Forge. Today was a decent day. We got a donation from MC Central from the last stream. Right as it ended, he donated after the stream. So I want to give a thank you to MC Central for the donation. I also want to thank Evil Jagan for his donation. In fact, it shows who donated in the last stream. All together. Give it a second. It'll scroll by. Oh man. Yeah, it was EMP Ninja Matic. He came through. He donated twice. One off stream, one on the stream. Evil Jagan donated, and then Old School Cody. He had donated $5. I want to thank you guys for the support on the channel and supporting the girls and stuff like that. Very few people are going to be doing this, but we got some plans that's going to make some big changes in the future for the girls. So just need you guys to just hang in there, man. Hang in there. All right. Until next time, guys. I will check you guys tomorrow in the mid-afternoon. Stay tuned, because after my stream around 6 p.m. we'll be starting Empress Now stream. Asari will be over, and Kwanai will be over to stream with her. There'll be some more Just Dance, some TikToks, and some Pococha. So it's going to be a long social media stream that's going to be going on. So hope you guys can join us for that. We look forward to it, and we'll see you guys later. Peace. Yo, Chris, you're gonna come on after. Yo, Triforce. All I have to say is that we're all put on this world for a reason, whether it's for good or bad. But I want to let you know, I don't take no sides. All this war makes no sense. Actually, Chris, the war actually does make sense. It's just that there's a reason why they try to keep politics and political warfare out of the conversation of the general public. Because if the general public was to ever find out or know what is really going on with the war with Ukraine and Russia, you would unfortunately be sympathizing with Putin. And I'll just make a short story of this. There's something called the Minx Agreement. It was forged after one of those world wars. I don't know if it was one or two, but whatever. It's when NATO was formed. NATO was forged to ally all of the world's democratic countries that wanted to see peace and prosperity for everyone, to keep them as a united front so that a Hitler regime would never rise to power again and threaten any other country in the world. Because if that evil country would rise up ever once, then the allied forces of NATO would jump that evil-doing country and stop them before they could ever do what they did to the Ashkenazi Jewish people. Be careful what I say. Use the proper words here. So, NATO was formed, but Russia did not want to join NATO because the Allied forces of the time of World War II didn't really help Russia in the war. In fact, Russia and China lost the most civilians and soldiers in the war in stopping Germany. A combined 40 plus million between both of the countries. Just those two alone. And which is, you can wonder why they didn't join NATO, because NATO never came to Russia and China's support, so to speak, although they helped in the war. Shortly after the war, NATO didn't want to even recognize Russia or China for their huge instrumental part of winning the war, which is why Winston Churchill said, "We can only pray to God, for only Stalin can stop Hitler," which Stalin stopped Hitler. But if you go by American education, they make it look like America won World War. America played a very semi-significant part in World War II. But first of all, America shouldn't have even been involved in World War II. That's the first thing. They were all the way on the other side of the goddamn world for them to be getting involved. I'm not going to get into the whole, because it's not even a conspiracy. They already released the classified documents that America wanted to go to war with Japan. They did everything in their power to incite war with Japan. And when Australia warned them that the Japanese were coming on Midway, they turned a blind eye, let the Japanese bomb, kill their own Navy officers so they could justify going into World War. And that's not an opinion, that is a fact. You can look it up. It's already been released. It's been declassified on the 75th anniversary of what's the name of this thing here? Pearl Harbor. So America wanted to get into the war, so they could make money. Obviously, IB Farben was selling oil to both sides, America and Germany. Like IB Farben its U.S. counterpart organization is called U.S. Standard Oil. So the United States was selling oil to Germany while going to war with Germany. Ain't that some shit? But that's a total different subject. Let's get back to the Russia thing. So Russia and China never wanted to get involved with NATO, since those guys were trying to give them the props that they deserved for taking out Hitler. So what ended up happening is that NATO, which is pretty much run by the United States, they wanted to start putting military bases in each of these countries. And being that Russia is not a part of NATO, they started putting NATO in Poland. They put in NATO in all countries that's, if you look at the map, it's kind of surrounding Russia. Before they even started to do that, Russia created an agreement with NATO. NATO will not move 1 inch east towards Russia. That agreement has been broken several times over for like the last 60 years. And now the only country that separates Russia from NATO is Ukraine. Starting to see where this is going. So Russia told Ukraine, listen, you're going to have to be a neutral country. You can't get involved with NATO, and you can't get involved with us. Ukraine, parts of Ukraine used to be a part of Russia, but some political nonsense happened and Crimea got lost out of Russia and whatnot. And then, there's a little political war between Russia and Ukraine, and they annexed Crimea. So now it's back in there. There's a part of Ukraine called Donbass and Donetsk, or whatever the name of those places are. And those are areas in Ukraine where it has Russian-speaking citizens that live there. They're not Ukraine nationals. They're Russians that live in Ukraine in those areas. Well, unfortunately, nationalists from Ukraine don't like them. Neo-Nazi groups that go in there and turn off their water, starve them, murder them. All types of nonsense that's been going on since 2014 that the news does not re-inform you about, because it's not that the news is not telling you about it, because they did speak about it. It's just that they're not reminding you what these Ukraine neo-Nazi supremacists are doing to Russian people in Donbass and Donetsk. Putin has always had a problem with that. And Putin would have that's why there's been war in Ukraine between Ukrainians and Russian-speaking Ukrainians and regular Ukrainians. And they've been fighting since 2014. But all was good because Ukraine was a neutral country. It would not join Russia and it would not join NATO. So as long as they kept it there, it would just be an ongoing civil war that would last for whatever amount of time. Then in 2021... Vladimir Zelensky thought it was funny to say he was interested in joining NATO. Vladimir Putin said, and I'm going to give you the ghetto version of it. Look, motherfucker, don't play these games with me. I will come in there and clap you, nigga. Real talk. You are not going to compare me to some third world Taliban ass army. Motherfucker, I got nukes. SARS Bomber 2, nigga. I will wipe you off the fucking face of the earth. You better not join NATO. Vladimir Zelensky thought that he was that nigga who could pretty much be like, fuck you gonna do, Putin? And Putin's like, oh, wait a minute. You got me mixed up. I'm not playing games with you. So, in 2022, January, February, I forgot which month it was, Zelensky made public, I'm thinking about joining NATO. So, Putin said, oh, you think this shit is a game? We're going to perform a special military operation in Ukraine. Why? Because if Putin doesn't stop Vladimir Zelensky from getting into NATO, the NATO, if let's say Ukraine becomes a NATO country, can put missiles at Putin's doorstep. I don't know if you remember this, but when Russia tried to put nuclear missiles in Cuba, President Kennedy almost started a hot war and end the world just because they want to put nuclear missiles in Cuba. And Cuba is separated by water from the United States. That alone almost made Kennedy go to nuclear war with Russia. Now imagine an enemy country or a foreign country putting nuclear missiles in New Jersey when you live in New York. That's a problem. You can't have that. That's too close to your house. At any day, these guys can just launch and kill you. And you can't have that. So Putin told the Ukrainians, kill your president and elect a new one. Because if you don't, we're going to have to come in and go kill this motherfucker. We're not interested in taking over Ukraine. And it kind of makes logical sense why Putin doesn't want to take Ukraine. If Putin takes over Ukraine and makes it a part of Russia, then he's on NATO's doorstep. So strategically, from a military sense, Putin cannot take Ukraine and NATO cannot take Ukraine. Ukraine must stay neutral because it is a buffer between the two countries from having their foreign rivals at each other's doorstep. It's like saying, okay, look, You live across the street and I live across the street. No one owns the street though. The street is neutral. You live on the other side of the street on your sidewalk and I live on my side of the street. And what's separating us is that traffic, which is called the street. NATO wants to remove that street and they want to come on Putin's sidewalk. You can't do that, man. So Putin is there, and if he's got to kill a bunch of people in Ukraine to stop World War III, I don't agree with it, but them's the breaks of war. And when you look at it now, from an objective standpoint, from a military standpoint, and what can happen, it's either Putin kills Zelensky and keep Ukraine a neutral country, or NATO gets Ukraine as a neutral country and World War III starts with nuclear missiles. Pick your poison. Now, this sounds fucked up, but sorry, Ukraine's got to go. I'd rather the world survive World War III than Ukraine turns NATO. It's just that simple. Borders. It's just that simple. Anybody who can't recognize that, it's like, then you just make it's a personal opinion of how you feel. I'm not looking at it from a personal opinion. I'm just looking at it from what it is. I'd rather avoid World War III. Yeah, but at the cost of Ukraine, millions will die. And yeah, in World War III, billions will die. So what do you do? What do you want to do? Sacrifice millions for billions? That's actually called evil. If you sacrifice the millions for the billions, you know what that's called? The greater good. It's just unfortunate it's Ukrainians. Oh, Triforce, you wouldn't be saying it if it was black people. What are you talking about, B? We still going through our Holocaust right now. And it's been 500 years. So don't give me that shit. Ain't nobody helping us in Lebanon. Ain't nobody helping us in Sudan. Ain't nobody helping us in the Congos. Ain't nobody helping us in Libya. All black people still getting killed out there. Ain't nobody helping us. So, hey, man, welcome to the party, B. Welcome to the party. Join us in our suffering. In any event, I was supposed to end the stream and I end up coming back saying all that other stuff. So I hope this was informative. Don't take my word for it. Simple Google it. You know, you could just Google the threat of Ukraine joining NATO. Type that up in Google. And you can do your own research and you'll be like, oh shit. So why don't they just tell people this in the news? Because if you did, then you'd be on Putin's side. And the object is not to be on Putin's side. So they hide the information from you. Make Putin out to be Hitler and yeah. Alright guys. Good night.